And welcome back to the channel. On this video I'm going to be riding the Lyric Graffiti X once again, as you see it right there. And I want to talk about something that does not get talked about too much. Actually, it doesn't get talked about at all, really. And so I want to talk about it, and that is used e-bikes. So let's get this thing rolling and talk about it. And the reason why I want to talk about it today is, like I say, it doesn't get talked about. And also the fact that we're getting more and more e-bikes out there. Eventually someone's not going to want their e-bike anymore and they'll want to sell it off. And yeah, you see some private sales, people selling their e-bikes, but I wonder if some shops will start popping up, or currently existing shops that might get into selling used e-bikes, because I think it's a great idea. You know, it's one way to get an e-bike at a lower price for those that don't want to pay, you know, the extraordinary prices that are out there for e-bikes. And so yeah, I think eventually it's going to happen here, and I think it's going to be sooner than later. And so if somebody was looking for a business to get into, that might be a good one, actually. So yeah, I think we're going to start seeing more of them, and I think it's a good thing. Because let's face it, the price of e-bikes, not everyone is willing to pay that price or can afford it. And so I think this would be something that we should be seeing sooner than later, because there's so many e-bikes that have already been sold out there, and more to come. And eventually someone's going to want to, say, maybe buy a new e-bike, and maybe they'll have an option from a shop or a store to trade their old e-bike in, and then maybe that e-bike can be cleaned up, tuned up, and resold again. I think it'd be an awesome idea, and I know we're going to see it eventually here. Let me know what your thoughts are on that in the comments. If someone's looking for a business to get into, that might be it. There's two businesses that I think within e-bikes that I think would be a good one to get into for anybody that's aspiring to be a owner of a bike shop. I think a bike repair, because there's just not enough repair shops that you can get your e-bike repaired at. And secondly, a used bike store. And I think, I mean, those both could go together, actually. You could do repair and sell used bikes, because I get a lot of questions on where they can take their bikes to be repaired, and you know, there's just not any shops around. At least in my area here, a lot of them will not touch an e-bike that's not been purchased at their store. So we need to get that changed. I think that's one of the other reasons why some people will not buy an e-bike, is because they're not inclined to work on their their own e-bike for whatever reason. Maybe they, you know, they just don't have time or whatever. And I got to tell you, I'm in one of those as well myself. I prefer my e-bike thing is to ride. I like to ride the e-bike. I'm not as big on the repairing side. My fun is riding. But I know there's a lot out there that like to tinker, you know, and build your own bike or whatever. But mine is more on the, I just want to ride. I mean, my thing would be if I could ride every single e-bike out there, try them all, see how they are, and give them a score, say out of 100 or something. It's kind of hard to do these days because a lot of bikes are sold online and you can't go and test ride them. I've never test ridden a bike before I purchased it. I didn't have the opportunity to. Nowhere around did they sell the bike I wanted at a store. So that whole thing needs to change, I think. Whoops. I wanted to hit the turn signal and hit the horn accidentally. But yeah, we need to change all that. We need to get more bike shops out there, brick and mortar. I always say brick and mortar, I'll get it right. And repair shops, and let's get selling some used bikes. Used bikes are definitely going to be more affordable than the new ones, especially as prices rise here in the coming months. Let me know in the comments too if you would be someone who'd be willing to purchase a used bike. You know, provided everything is fine on the bike. You know, hopefully the bike shop that sells it. Now, I'm not talking about private sales. I am talking about shops, stores that would sell the used bikes. That hopefully they do a complete test on the bike to make sure everything is a-okay. And hopefully as well give you some kind of warranty on the bike. In case something goes awry. Because let's face it, the bikes aren't cheap. Even used, it's still not going to be cheap. It's going to be cheaper though than buying a new one. But yeah, I'd like to see that, and I think it's going to happen eventually here. There's going to be so many bikes out there that, you know, where are they all going to go when you want to sell yours off, you know? All right, well, that's going to do it on this video. I wanted to get out there and talk a little bit about used e-bikes, and I'm curious to see what kind of response we get. And maybe you can respond if you know of a bike store or shop that actually sells or takes in used bikes as a trade-in. Because I think we need to see some of that happening, I think. And I'm sure it will in due time, and I think it's going to be sooner than later, because we're getting pretty deep into the e-bike world now. We're getting into it more and more, and so and with the prices being as much as they are, that might be a good way to get yourself your first bike if you can't get one at the prices they are now. So that's going to do it for this video. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, thank you very much. Just hit that subscribe button. If you want to be notified as to when the next video comes up on the channel, just hit that notification bell. And as I mentioned earlier, if you want to comment on this video or any others, go ahead and leave that in the comments below. Don't forget to tell your friends about us and share the video links. Thank you again for joining me on this video. And be safe out there, everyone, and keep your wheels on the road. See you later.